Co-Ed. Tonight, the 3-1 Minor Tigers host the 2-3 Ramsay Rams. You'll see every snap, every pass, every touchdown right here on Jeff Co-Ed TV. The Game of the Week pre-show starts right now. Well, it looks like the rain is out of here, and we're all set for the final week of football in September. Good evening. I'm Chris Osborne here on the sidelines for our Jeff Co-Ed Game of the Week right here at Minor High School. This week, a lot of our schools are out of region, and they're playing out of region games, so it should be some interesting matchups this week. We've got it right here, and we're going to take you to it. But first, let's hear from the coach of the Ramsay Rams, and here's Coach Abrams.
I mean, Ramsay's always going to play top-tier competition because year in, year out, they're one of the most respected teams in this state, and they're always there. They are a high-level program. And so anytime you have them coming into your place, we understand it's going to be a formidable opponent, and we know we're going to have to bring our A-game. Just the biggest surprise for me is just my offensive line. I told them at the beginning of the season that we were going to go as they go, but the tenacity they bring to every practice and to every game and their work ethic is really just astounding. If you look back on media days and they ask what was our weakness, I told them we're going to have to learn how to deal with success, and we've been saying it. And you know, the whole reason why we're successful this year is because I got kids here that want to be here, that are locked in, that trust each other, they trust themselves, and they trust their coaching. And when you put those components together, you can't help but be successful. Really excited to be here on Jeff Co-Ed TV to get a chance to showcase the beautiful things that we're doing here at Minor High School.
And you just heard from Coach Abrams from Minor High School, correction there, and we're about 15 minutes away from game time. It promises to be a really good game between these two teams that are kind of evenly matched. Let's go to the booth to hear from Caleb and Scott.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Scott Griffith here along with Caleb Turrentine, your broadcast crew for the Jeff Co-Ed Game of the Week. We got a good one tonight, Minor and Ramsay. You look at the records, though, they can be deceiving, specifically on Ramsay's side.
Yeah, the thing about Ramsay, I'm still trying to figure out how good of a team this really is. The teams that they've lost to, very good teams. Two teams in the top 4 of 6A, and then a number 9 ranked team in 5A, and then their 2 wins are against 2 teams who have combined for only 1 win. So it's really hard to tell how good this Ramsay team is. I think we're going to learn a lot tonight.
Yeah, we do know that Keenan, the quarterback, as you know, was out with COVID for one of those games against Corner, so Corner had a big advantage there, but still shouldn't be 1-3. Meanwhile, Minor, they went to 3 straight playoffs, 18, 19, 20, trying to find their way again the last couple of years. What do you see?
Well, you have to think it's a promising start, 3-1. But remember, 3 of the last 4 years, they started 3-1. So it's all about how you go from here, how you take advantage of these, non-region tougher opponents and learn from going into the back half of region play. That's what they're going to be looking for tonight.
As far as the weather, it's obviously breezy tonight. We don't think it's going to rain, but there could be some gusts of winds. For Minor, it's not a problem because they like to run the ball, which means they want to control it. For Ramsay, they may throw it 30 or 40 times.
Yeah, I think the big thing to look at if it does start raining, even like those little flash showers every now and then, if it happens on a special teams play tonight, those special teams plays, whether it's a long snap, a bobbled snap on a punt, a block punt, something like that, that can make a difference. So that's going to be something you have to be careful with if it starts raining.
If it's okay with you, I don't want any rain.
I'm good with it too. I'm feeling a drop right now. I'm a little uncomfortable.
So we've had enough rain the last few weeks. Let's take a look at the rest of the schedule that's going on tonight. There's a lot of non-region action for the area. Look at Clay Choppel Thompson That was one we flirted with, but that's going to be a huge game. Hueytown Hillcrest. I mean, there's some good ones on there. What stands out to you?
Well, I look at outside the Clay Chalkville-Thompson game, which I'll obviously be keeping an eye on. Centerpoint traveling to Jag. I know Jag's not a very good program, but that's a 7A team. And Centerpoint traveling to play a 7A program, they're hoping to get a big boost from that. And then I also think Garndale going over to Tuscaloosa. I like to see what Garndale's doing in recent weeks. They've improved a lot. This is the back half of the season now. I think seeing what they do tonight could tell me how good they are.
Anniston Pleasant Grove's another good one that we'll be keeping an eye on through the broadcast. So tonight, the Rams, they come in 1-3. They're really better than that against Minor at 3-1, a non-region game. So technically doesn't mean anything. We're going to learn a lot about both teams, Chris, when this game is played tonight. Back to you.
We're less than 15 minutes from game time, so the excitement is here. The Minor band is behind us. And speaking of Minor, let's meet the Minor team before we go to break.
Amir White, quarterback, senior.
Trevon Hurst, running back, junior.
Adam Goodman, fullback, senior.
Kamari Bear, wide receiver, sophomore.
Dominic White, wide receiver, junior.
Caleb Jackson, receiver, sophomore.
Michael Brown, offensive line, senior.
Jordan Slater, offensive line, senior.
Jayla Ivey, online, junior.
Marquis Franklin, offensive line, senior.
Devin Shepard, offensive line, senior.
Ace Graham, tight end, junior.
Shakari McDonald, defensive line, senior.
David Mason, defensive tackle, sophomore.
Kevin Jordan, D-line, senior.
Marquise Evans, DN, sophomore.
Brandon Woodard, outside linebacker, senior.
Roman White, linebacker, freshman.
Bernard Shaver, cornerback, senior.
Paul Allen, defensive back, junior.
Corian Tyson, defensive back, junior.
Vaquero Bosco, DB, junior.
Sherman Williams, safety, senior.
Adrian Abrams, head coach, go Tigers.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to the teachers of Jefferson County Schools. I appreciate everything that you do and how the commitment and dedication that you give every day that you come to service our children and to service our families. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for your relationships that you have formed with our children. And thank you for ensuring that our children are achieving and learning. You are our boots on the ground, and without you, we would not be as successful as we are. And just know that you're loved and you're appreciated by not only your students, your coworkers, the families you serve, but by me. Thank you for everything that you do.
All right, game time is just ahead at 7 o'clock in this showdown between Ramsay and Minor. Minor 3-1 after dropping their first game of the season last week at Gardendale. Tonight, the Tigers are looking to bounce back. We showed you the starting lineups for Minor before we went to break, so let's see who's starting for the Rams. At quarterback, Cameron Keenan, Jaden Martin at running back. 4 wideouts with Deuce Alexander, Daniel Reeser, Matt Keebler, and Shaish Rice. On the O-line, it's Devon Rudolph, C.J. Chapman, Lance Johnson, and Jihad Foreman, and Ryan Reese. On defense, it's James Reynolds at nose tackles, Adam and Holt at the defensive ends, Ryan Reese at defensive tackle, Patterson and Cooley are your linebackers, and you've got Jared Burnage and Tyrell Williams and Terrence Atkins, Alandis Thomas, and Marlon Williams to wrap up that bunch on defense. Well, this is really a beautiful facility here at Minor, and the new turf here is wonderful. They also opened a brand new field house that is marvelous. The doors are now open. And let's go again to Coach Abrams.
This has been a long time coming. When I first got here, I said that we were going to get some new facilities. Now, being completely honest, I didn't know exactly how that was going to get done, but there have been a lot of people, myself, administration, and people in this community that have been advocating for our kids and facilities. I didn't realize the difference that it would make. Just looking at my kids' faces when they came in and seeing the facilities, you know, equitable is the word I kept using, and it just it lifts them up. They're smiling ear to ear coming in, and I'm really excited about what that brings, because when you come in with that type of energy, it has a way of, you know, making its way onto the field. You know, you attack the field with the same energy. You attack with a sense of pride in what you got, the sense of pride in them keeping it up and keeping it clean. It's just they have really taken the bull by the horns, and they are proud to be here and proud to be in this facility. But it does help tremendously, you know, to have your weight room in one spot, to be able to shower all your kids, to have coaches' offices, to have internet, to have working phone, to have those things, those modern things with how technological the game has become now, to have those things at your disposal instead of having to go into the school for them. And so, like I said, once again, we're eternally grateful. I sat down with Dr. Gunson a couple years ago, and I wrote a list of things down, and he told me, Coach, if you commit to us, we'll commit to you. And he's done everything that's on that list. And I just have the utmost respect for him and the Jefferson County Board of Education.
All right, that is Coach Adrian Abrams, the outstanding head coach for the Minor Purple Tenacious Tigers. And what a great facility they have over here off to our right as you listen. Just an unbelievable, amazing job by the Jefferson County school system and helping them get their facilities up to par. So absolutely fantastic. Right now, the Minor marching band entertaining the fans that have braved the weather out here, Caleb, to come out and check it out. I think the rain is going to subside, but it's awfully windy.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I think you said the word breezy. I think
Yes.
I put this beyond breezy.
Breezy to the second power,
It's
right?
the gusts that we're getting. That's
Yeah.
maybe even a little chilly, might I say. A
I
nice,
think you're
nice
right.
first officially fall game for us. So it's turns out to be a pretty nice night for football. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, they we got the official fall deal from the weather guys, and and then all of a sudden now we got to have a jacket on, so it's kind of weird. So we should have our national anthem coming up in just a few moments as we get ready for this clash between Minor and the Ramsay Rams.
Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Beautiful job by the Minor marching band for the national anthems. And let's take a look at the Minor High School Purple Tigers schedule as it is played out. They won their first three, Caleb. Dora, Paul Bryant, Woodlawn, couple on the road, had an off week, and then did not answer the bell against Gardendale. Not a good game for them.
Yeah, I think that's probably one. I mean, obviously any loss you're going to want back, but that first half, we talked about it when we were doing our game last week. They went down 4 touchdowns in that game, responded well, fought in that second half, but you can't put yourself in that big of a hole and expect to come out with a win, especially in a region game, and especially, when you're looking at their region, you're thinking Parker is up there at the top. You think Homewood's right there. There's not a lot of room for error, and Gardendale's one of those teams that they feel like they're competing with for a playoff spot, and that's why when I mentioned earlier, starting 3-1 is nothing new for them. They've done that 3 of the last 4 years, and all of those seasons they still ended up missing the playoffs. So they're hoping for something different this year.
Let's take a look at the opposite, the 1-3 Ramsay Rams, but we think they're 2-3 on that particular deal there. They've got a couple of wins, John Carroll and Briarwood. They've lost to Corner, who's a top 10 team. They did not have their quarterback. Clay Chalkville, of course, we know about them, and Parker, as you pointed out, is a top 5 team. So how do you view them? It's kind of skewed, right, a little bit?
It is a little bit. I mean, I think how good this Ramsay team can be based off what they've done, the players that they have, and I mean, 2 straight trips to the Super 7, that's a big deal. But at the same time, when you look at what they did, that's a 9-point win over a winless Briarwood team. And then the 41-0 last week against John Carroll is impressive, but John Carroll is 1-4. So they need to get a win against a quality opponent to have some confidence going forward.
There's no doubt about it. We're getting close to kickoff. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the kickoff here from the west side of Birmingham. Minor and Ramsay. You're watching the Jeff Coed Game of the Week.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I come in the building every day, for the past 18 years, truly just with the intent to impact students. So it's kind of like the perimeter or the outer edges. We try to develop, fun and engaging activities, where students can see that relevance. We find activities that, relate to the students or, activities that students are interested in that, of course, that are still standards-based. This is 16, so that's 6 divided by what?
I think the amazing thing about Ms. Law is that she cares for her students. And that's one of the greatest qualities that you can have as a teacher.
Okay, let's come over here to this one and see how you like this one.
When you care about kids and you have a relationship, basically you get more from your students, and she does just that.
People can feel my spirit and know that my intentions are genuine. I want the best for each student. Anytime a faculty member is in need, faculty or staff, I want to do whatever I can to make the school work well. Great learning experience. I've always thought, hey, I want to be able to inspire a student, whether they become a mathematician or not, but I want to inspire them to be the best that they can be.
Jeff Coed Secondary Teacher of the Year is Mrs. Nastasia Law, Minor High School.
Congratulations to Nastasia Law, the Jefferson County School Teacher of the Year. Well-deserved honor for her, for sure. All right, Minor won the toss, so they will be receiving tonight. And again, this is about ball control tonight, Caleb. They want to run it. Ramsay wants to throw it around the park.
Yeah, I think the thing about Ramsay, it starts and ends with Cameron Keenan, and we're going to say his name a lot. He's going to take shots down the field, but he's also going to use his legs. And Ramsay wants to use the run game enough to be able to mix it together to where they can take those deep shots. But again, this is a Ramsay offense that's different from the past couple of years. Cameron Keenan does not have as many weapons to work with. Now, he's still very good and probably going to be the best player out here on the field tonight. But that's why you limit his touches, and that's exactly why, like you said, Minor's going to want to slow down their possessions, take some time off, because the less Ramsay has the ball, the less they're going to score. That's just how the game works.
That's usually the way it works, for sure. We
can see some defensive touchdowns. Sure,
we've seen different things, but that is definitely the norm, and that's what they want to bank on tonight. So Ramsay will be in the white jerseys with the white pants and the blue and black helmets. Of course, Minor, conversely, in the white helmets with the purple jerseys and purple pants. The Purple Tigers and the Rams here on Jeff Coed Game of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're set for kickoff here at Tiger Stadium.
About ready to kick it off. And a left-footed kick is caught, and he's down right there, obviously in high school football, about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, I think you live with that. You don't want him to go down, but at the same time, if you're going to try to catch that ball, you better just secure it.
The Tigers receive the kickoff.
So here come the Minor Tigers.
At the 29-yard line.
They've got a big offensive line.
At their own 29-yard line.
As you can imagine.
And this is one of those times you look back there, you see a double digit in the 20s quarterback.
Yeah.
That's an offense that likes to run the football.
Yeah, Trey Hurth looks like he's ready to get the snap. He's normally the running back. Amir White is the senior, and we've already got a penalty. Last week we had a ton of them, so I hope that's not a sign of things to come. So 1st and 15. There is Amir White, and he's just going to take it like a Wildcats kind of play, even though he's a quarterback, and he'll run it up the middle for maybe a couple.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of their offense, and that's why that false start to start the possession just hurts so much. Because when you want to run the ball, you can't get stuck behind the sticks, and then 1st and 15, you have 3 plays to pick that up, and that's tougher to do when you run so run heavy.
So White, again with Hurth flanked to his right, he does a little end around to the wide receiver, and it is definitely flushed out by the Rams. That's a loss of 1 as they handed it to Kamari Bell, and he didn't have much room.
No, he didn't. That's Ramsay's bread and butter right there on the edge. It has been their key to success the last couple of years, shutting down the edge on defense. That front 7 does not let a lot of people get loose.
So 3rd down and 13. And as we pointed out, with a running team, not a favorable down and distance for those guys. Big offensive line, average well over 300. We'll talk about that as the night progresses. White looks like he was kind of waiting, and he was trying to find his man over the middle. It wasn't going to be near the first down marker anyway. I thought maybe he was doing a screen or a shovel the way he was kind of hesitating on the roll.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't have a little bit, maybe more of a thought process on their play calls if they chose to receive the ball. Still a good defensive stand by Ramsay. I think Minor got a little lucky there. I think if the linebacker didn't get a hand on that ball, that was going to be intercepted by the back safety. I believe that was Thomas back there. So I would still consider yourself lucky, but you need a good punt, and you need a switch this field position before you let Ramsay get out of hand so early in the game.
An early timeout by Ramsay here after the very first possession of the game. Back to kick will be Tyler Chambers for Minor once play resumes.
I think Minor right here needs to hope that on this punt, they get one of those wind gusts that we've been dealing with up here. Take that punt maybe 10, 15 yards extra downfield. You can't give Ramsay good field position so quickly. You didn't pick up a first down. You went backwards on your first possession. It gets easier and easier to fold, and especially when it's a non-region game, when things aren't going your way early on. We saw that last week against Gardendale when they went down 4 touchdowns as well. So they can't put themselves in another hole this week.
No doubt about it. So back deep for Ramsay. Number 9, Deuce Alexander for the catch of the kick. Punt, pretty good one. Woo-hoo. Went well over Alexander's head, and he's going to pick it up at the 20. He's got room at the 30 before he is knocked down quickly at the 32-yard line. So a dangerous play, but a good play. Let's go down to Chris on the sideline. Chris.
The illustrious principal of Minor High School here. And tell us a little bit, lots of changes here.
The Rams come out 1st and 10. Ball spotted at their own 31-yard line.
Compliment our new turf stadium, and we are pretty excited about the fact that our students, our football team, is doing a new uniform tonight. So in the spirit of change, we have changed the administration, we changed the look of our school as well as the dynamic of our school as a whole.
And one more question. Lots of parents out here, a little wet, a little misty night, but they're still out.
They are.
Rams pick up a first down on the run.
We told our parents, we're all in this together. And our parents recognize and realize that we are truly one Minor. And in order for us to be successful as a school, it's going to take more than just the school itself. We're going to need their support as well. And the great thing for us is that our parents are on board and they're excited about what's next in Minor High School.
All right, you heard it right here. Dr. Sanders, principal of Minor. Back up to you guys upstairs.
Thanks a lot, Chris. And while Chris was talking, Jaden Martin's put on a show here with a couple of carries, and he's already moved the football about 30-plus yards in 2 carries.
Yeah, 27 yards and 2 carries, and that's a pretty good start for a team that wants to throw the ball. Right. And that's gonna be a problem for Minor. If they can't stop the run, eventually they're gonna have to put more men in the box, and that's gonna open up deeper passes options for.
In the pistol formation, Cameron Keenan is the quarterback, looking. Finally throws, finds a man, and he's got him. So that's a nice throw out there to number 15. Let's take a look at the patience by Keenan.
Yeah, that's a really good play, being able to take your time. Minor had safeties over the top to cover that deep ball, but be able to leak out from the backfield and be able to find that pass. Almost left in the air a little too long, but still completed it for a first down.
Armand Goolsby with the catch. 1st and 10. Handoff again, Martin. He likes to get outside, and he can. Beautiful move as he just sidestep a defender, and he'll be drugged down on maybe the 20, about the 19-yard line. They'll give him that. Look at this play.
I like seeing his blockers are in front of him, kind of helping him forward those last extra couple of yards. Every play so far for Ramsay's offense has ended in a first down. They are moving the ball into the red zone now.
Keenan, the quarterback, fakes it to Martin, trying to get around in, and he's dropped right there. Nice play by the linebacker, and I believe that was DeLove's Shaver, I should say. And he is a kind of a nickel, kind of a rover kind of guy, plays near the line and can also play in the backfield.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure that was the wrong call by Keenan on the read there. That was just covered on both sides. That was a good play, being able to stay home on the edge and make that tackle.
Keenan rolling left, getting pressured, finds a man, and almost picked off. He errantly threw it, and over there in coverage was Paul Allen, the safety. And almost got his hands on that one. So 3rd down 11. So after moving right down the field behind the wheels of Martin, they've slowed to a halt right now.
Yeah, I think that's what you call the announcer's curse there when I said every play. And first down, they've gone backwards and an incompletion. I think Keenan wanted his receiver to maybe sit down a little bit more, and he kept running towards the sideline. That's why that throw was behind him. Nearly a disaster, though, for Ramsay.
So 3rd and 11. Keenan looking left, had a man deep and did not choose to throw it, and he'll get sacked right there. Nice pursuit. He just didn't want to pull the trigger, it didn't look like. And coming up was Brandon Woodard, the 5'8", 220-pound middle linebacker.
Yeah,
he was flagged down though.
I'm surprised Keenan didn't find his wheel route out of the backfield. It was a perfect play. Took everyone else to the left side. Not like it would have mattered, but he did have that wheel route open in the right corner of the end zone.
He also had Matthew Keebler on a little post route that looked like, or flag route I should say, back to that back corner, and he just didn't want to throw it, looked like. In any event, that's a hold on Ramsay, so we'll see what Adrian Abrams wants to do.
Yeah, and this is an interesting decision. It's not as straightforward because
I think he's going to back him up, right? Yeah, you're right, because they're not going to kick it.
Yeah.
So
4th and 11 or 3rd, twice the distance.
Well, what a great play. They had it set up there, but what a fantastic play. Coming up hard, Roman White, the freshman linebacker. If he don't make that play, they go for a long way.
Yeah, that right there, you see that that's obviously man coverage. You have someone who's on that running back and coming out of the backfield, and the blockers just missed him. And you're right, it was set up perfectly. Everyone, that would have gone for probably a first down,
a long way,
maybe a touchdown. So that's a big tackle.
They've got to get inside the 10. It's 4th down, and they'll snap it outside the 30, and a timeout, Minor. So Minor with the timeout on the field, facing 4th and 20. We'll take a break, come back with more. You're watching Jeff Coed, Game of the Week. Welcome back. 4th down and about 21. Keenan trying to run, and he's going to get sacked again. Pressure coming again from 22. We just talked about him. Roman White, he's just a pure freshman, and he made back-to-back big plays.
Yeah, that's a huge stop from Minor. I mean, he tried to escape, but that's not an easy guy to bring down. But once you have so many guys around that you're having to dance around, someone's going to eventually get you to the ground. Really impressive defensive stop after they got into the red zone. But now Minor gets to take over at their own 40, so not even bad field position either. Really good stop from the Tigers.
No doubt about it. So the Tigers come out offensively now with Amir White. 1st and 10 from the 40. Handoff Hurth around left end. He's got a big blocker in front, but he didn't wait on him, so he didn't show enough patience. He had big number 55, Markeith Franklin, at 6'3", 335, but he ran around him.
Yeah, that's one of those times where you think that blocker is engaged just enough to free you up on the edge, and he didn't have the speed to make it around Ramsay's defense. Not many people do. That might be a lesson learned right there.
They definitely pursued the football very well. He did get 4 or 5, though. But it looked like it could have been a much more. 2nd down, we'll call it 6. He got 4 on the play. Hurth again, this time around the right side, and his lineman whiffed on that, and same kind of play. Franklin trying to get out there, but that quickness of the Rams able to make a play.
Yeah, I think Minor needs to make some kind of adjustments with their run game. Try to go up the middle, I think, a little bit more. We saw it one time at the very beginning when White took the direct snap and just ran straight forward. Yeah, I mean, he got 3 yards, but I think that's something you need more of. Otherwise, those edges are going to be shut down for the entire game. You have to show a threat that you can run up the middle as well.
So 3rd and a short 6 here. They got to get right to the 50-yard line. White rolling right. He's a left-handed thrower. He's got a man. Caught. No. Out of his hands. It looked like Kamari Bell got his hands on it, fell to the turf, but couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. This is probably a ball that needs to be caught. You hit him in your hands. It's a diving catch, though.
It didn't have a great spin on it, did it?
It didn't have a great spin. I don't love rolling a left-handed quarterback out to his right, just like I wouldn't love rolling a right-handed quarterback out to his left. You're making him go against his body, and it wasn't a bad ball, but that was just a tough play on both ends. One that was nearly made, but certainly a difficult play.
So Alexander goes back for the return, and that's a low line driver. He's going to have room to run on the right side. They got a nice wall set up. Alexander to the 30, 40, 50. Alexander getting chased. He got a great block. He's still on his feet. Alexander will go for the touchdown. Beautiful special teams blocking by the Ramsay Rams.
Yeah, that was, we're going to see so many replays of that one. Really, really well done. I think that's something you're going to see. They're not going to kick him much ever again. Great blocking on
Watch
the edge.
his block coming up, boom.
And how about him calling out his blocks and taking time? You were just talking about how Minor wasn't being patient enough to follow blocks. He was patient. He was pointing them out. He was finding his cuts, and he made it look easy. 85 yards.
Marcus Montgomery with that key block. The extra point is up and good. So Ramsay goes on top 7-0 with a beautiful punt return by Deuce Alexander. He's a junior, and he's got great speed, obviously.
Now, I said special teams might end up being a factor in this game if it ever did get any rain out here during the game. But that's a punt that I'm sure that the coaching staff told them you got to keep this away from him. And it wasn't a great bounce. He tried to kick it low, but that rugby style kick. If you're going to do that rugby style kick, you better kick it to the corner.
Yeah.
Because your punt coverage is not going to make it down there to make a tackle in time. So that's what happened. I mean, it was a great return and great blocking, but Minor didn't have anyone down there. And once he got the first 10, 15 yards, you saw this is going to be dangerous.
They set up a beautiful initial wall, as you saw, so you knew it was going to get 15 or 20, but he found a seam and took it to the house. 7-0 Ramsay.
Was that the first punt return touchdown we've seen so far
I
this
think
year?
so. First really big play that I can remember in the kicking game, pretty much.
Yeah. Unless you count the 25-minute extra point from last week.
Yes, exactly. Here comes Minor now, bringing it out. And that's number 7 for the Tigers. As our rosters are just blowing around. We're in an outside deal, so you got to be patient with us. Carry on Tyson with that return, but they do have good field position at the 43-yard line.
Now they need to do something with it. They still don't have a first down in this game. They took over at the 40 last time. You know that hurts from that defense. That made Ramsay's offense go backwards 20 yards. They were, got the field position battle back, and then to give up a big punt return like that completely flips how this first quarter was feeling if I'm a Minor Tiger fan.
1st and 10. White at quarterback. Hurth flanked to his right. Now they'll switch it around and go strong right there. Actually, Hurth is on the edge. They get it. White. Boy, what great penetration. He's just drugged down. Looks like about a 5-yard loss for the Rams. 3 yards, they'll call it. And coming up hard was Terrence Atkins from his corner position.
I'm not even sure anyone blocked him. No one picked up that he was blitzing from the edge. And by the time they went through the play action, the fake handoff, he was already there ready to make the tackle.
So we'll call it 3 officially, 2nd down and 13. I don't think Minor has positive yards yet, do they, for the game so far? If they do, it's not many. White throws it out, trying to get some kind of rhythm going in the pass game, and that'll pick up 4 or 5 as he got it out to Kamari Bell, but there was no blocker out there for him.
I think that's just trying to get yourself
one-on-one?
a spot on the edge. You're not being able to run there because Ramsay's speed is there. If you get that ball out quickly enough. Now, I think they wish that throw wasn't 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He ran 9 yards with it. He only picked up 4. So just some design issues, I think, right now with Minor's offense, and Ramsay's just picking up on every bit of it.
3rd down and 9. White drops, going deep, nobody there. It looked like maybe a mix-up on the route. Dom White was the intended receiver, but he wasn't near that throw, and White will come over and discuss it with the offensive coaches. Again, I'm sorry, Minor has that size advantage on the front. I mean, you're talking about, Caleb, 365, 295, 300, 335. They got a huge offensive line.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm saying they got to start going down the middle. They have to start running this ball. A power run game. The edge is not going well for them so far.
As we get ready for this punt, let's go down to Chris Osborne. Chris, what you got?
Hey, guys, when you're talking about that front line with Minor, there's some leadership there, too. I saw there was things getting a little bit chippy, and one of those guys came over and he told the much smaller defensive back, hey, little guy, go on back. This is not how we're playing this game. So leadership and beef on that front line.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you very much. And Chris down there in the elements, too, with the wind blowing. We're kind of in him. That one bounces away from Alexander. He still looks like he wants to pick it up. And he does. He picks it up at the 6. But I think somebody touched it, so they'll knock it down and mark it down at the 6, I should say. Or he might have been gone again.
Yeah, that's the kind of punt you want with the rugby bounce. You have to make sure that thing is bouncing away from. Now, I know he was excited after a punt return touchdown last time, but I'm thinking if I'm a coach, I'm going over there and saying, why are you following that ball so closely? You were just asking for a muff punt or fumble or something there. So sometimes you just have to know when to let it roll.
All right, so the Rams will start back near their own goal line at the 6. Cameron Keenan, straight handoff, again to Martin. He's in the secondary, and Martin thrown down again. He's had 4 carries in this game, and all of them go for a lot, but there is a flag down.
I was just about to add up his carries on those four carries. But man, he is running loose right now. I didn't see the hold that really made it happen. It could have been away from the play. He had a ton of space, though, and Minor has to figure something out on that defensive front.
So definitely a hold on the offensive line. So that play negated, and they'll move it back half the distance to the goal to about the 3 or 4 yard line. So it'll be first and 13 from that spot. Pistol formation again for Martin. Bouncing inside and out. Actually, that wasn't Martin. That was Ladarian Berry who came in for Martin. But he finds some decent running room to get him across the 5 yard line.
Yeah, and every yard's important when you're down here. Everyone knows that. We have seen plays with teams in the shadow of their own goalpost and the safeties and struggles that teams have had. So that's big, 4 big yards right there.
Cameron again. Boy, just nobody on that side. He's not even gotten any resistance till the 25 yard line. Ladarian Berry, that looked like a stroll in the park.
I mean, in this
nobody
picture,
in the frame.
you see his blockers, and his blockers don't even have anyone to block. I don't know if this is formations that are confusing Minor's defense right now. If it's they're just offsetting, giving some misdirection. But you're right. When there is open space, it's a lot of it for Ramsay.
And they're sticking to the run. There's Martin again, and he's got blazing straight line speed. He's out on the corner and still on his feet down the sidelines before he finally stepped out. We'll see where they put him. But that's another 21, probably about a 30-yard run to the 41. He's at top speed within a couple of steps, isn't he?
He is. It's quick, and it's the running game, and that's a good timeout by Minor right there. That's a good timeout because they're struggling against the run. They need a break.
And we're going to take a break with it. You're watching the Jeff Coed Game of the Week. Right now, Ramsay on top, 7-0 over Minor. All right, back on the field here. 1st and 10 Rams against the Minor Purple Tigers. Keenan again to Martin again. He's gone, just like at the blink of an eye, gone for the touchdown, 41 yards. Nobody came within a whiff.
No, I think he might have been untouched. He might have gotten scraped at the line of scrimmage, but that was it.
And that's up the middle.
That was, and that's, I mean, there's not much you can say about it. Obviously, you have to have high-end speed. You have to have the blocking up front. But I'm more worried about Minor's defense right now than anything else. And once Ramsay has gotten past that line of scrimmage, that's why they're having these 10, 15, 20, and that one for 41 yards. So there needs to be something change. I think specifically at the linebacker level, because there's too much space between stopping the run and trying to stop the deep pass, and that's what Ramsay's taking advantage of.
Absolutely. Another terrific run by Martin. He's got to have close to, 60 yards or so? I know you're keeping it over that. And it's 2.5 still to go in the first quarter, 13-0 on the missed extra point by Ramsay. So
that touchdown run actually just put him over 100 yards already.
Already 100.
Wow. That is on 5 carries.
And they're just straight line handoffs. I mean, there's no trickery going at all here. So Coach Adrian Abrams kind of shell-shocked a little bit, he and his staff, with the running ability of Ramsay, who normally comes in and tosses it around the ballpark. And I think they have, 2 or 3 pass attempts, maybe a couple of sacks out of that.
They have 3 attempts, and one was that screen pass. I mean, they haven't needed
and a couple of sacks, right?
To let loose, and I don't know.
Wow. They're going to possibly get the ball as the ball just came squibbing back towards him on a bizarre bounce, and we'll see who has it. Did Minor fall on it?
It looks like it. They got lucky on that one. I mean, it was an unlucky bounce to begin with, but you got to be ready for those bounces when they're squibbing it this way.
That was a bizarre deal.
How many times do we think someone covered it? Like, there it is.
I've never seen a kickoff. We've seen punts bounce back like a wedge, right? But I've never seen a kickoff hit the turf and come backwards. That was
if you
really
notice,
bizarre.
Ramsay doesn't kick off of a tee. They put the ball on the ground and just kick it. So that allows for those weird bounces and spins. And I don't know how you practice.
Why not? You don't practice those.
I don't know how you can.
Yeah, that would be a very difficult thing to try to put into practice every week. So Ramsay, I know it's first quarter. We got 2:29, but it feels like we need to get something going here with the Rams. I mean, with the Tigers, excuse me. Minor I'm talking about.
They do, and I know that you want to run the ball and you have your offense, and there's a lot of football left to be played. You have to stick with your offense. I mean, you can't just try to get too desperate, try to put the air under the ball and throw it deep all the time. Your offense has to work, and so you have to keep trying that, because if you have any chance of winning this game, it's with your offense working.
For some reason, Malcolm Brown just came into the game, a lineman, before they started, at 6'4", 365. So they're trying to get a power game going here, and there's not much happening with that either as Ramsay stuffs that run. A host of Rams there, and it was led by Markel Patterson, the middle linebacker. So they're even putting linemen in the backfield as fullbacks and having no success so far.
Sometimes when things
They'll
aren't
do it
working,
again. Yeah.
That's just how it goes, and I don't know. I think you have to stick with it and not get too discouraged when you have a no-yard gain or loss of 1 or 2.
This time they hand off to Hurth around the left side. He finds a lot more positive things happening over there, and he'll have very close, if not the first down on that 11-yard carry.
I love these counter plays. This is a great shot of it here. when they're behind the line and you just can't really tell where the ball's at before it's too late. And that's the kind of stuff. You get behind your big blockers and you make it all happen right there in the heart of the backfield. And then if you see space, you can bounce the edge, but it starts right there in the middle, and that's where Minor is going to need it. They got their first down of the game.
So there's no trickery going here. You got 3 big blockers, including a lineman in the backfield. And they'll run it again over that left side. And again, not having much success on the left side of the situation. As I think that was Sherman Williams perhaps in there running it on that one, the backup quarterback. I'm trying to get that number straight, but not much success.
Yeah, I think they're going to get called for illegal formation on this one too, which isn't surprising when you're putting so many guys up there at the line of scrimmage. Someone might be misaligned. I'm surprised it's declined. Every yard matters with this Minor offense, and I think I'd rather put them in 1st and 15 than 2nd and 11. But I'm also not one to question a coach who's gone to the last 2 Super 7s, so he knows what he's doing over there.
Kamari Bell was the runner, I should say. He's the wide receiver. It's had a couple of passes thrown his way. So they've got him in the backfield, and he has been since this series started. He's back there to get the snap. He's their most elusive runner. This time he goes away from the blocking and pays the price. Not sure what that's going on with that, but that was a tough hit by the Rams, led by number 10, Murphy Adams, the defensive end.
Yeah, Minor is trying to get the ball just into the hands of any of their playmakers because they're struggling to get it to them any other way. So you snap it to them, but then I think you're putting it in position to where you try to make a play too much, you see space, you think you can take it, and you can't. So
we're at the end of the first quarter, 13-0, Ramsay in control. You're watching the Jeff Coed Game of the Week. Hang on.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. This year, we are seizing the day to shape the future. You'll see that message on our social media channels, our website, and signs around your school. At Jeff Coed, we're all about offering numerous opportunities to our students. From our highly rated international baccalaureate school, to our signature academies, to our career tech and fine arts programs, to our elementary theme schools. We're looking to seize the day every day and capitalize on every opportunity in front of us. Seize the day, shape the future. This is Jeff Coed.
Guys, to you in the booth and everybody at home, it's really interesting. We've been looking very closely in the trenches, and you would think that all of the mass that Minor High has in the trenches would be mowing over the Ramsay front four, but those front four are quick and they are agile and they are really giving Minor the business. So Minor's going to have to find a way to get some impact players making some plays. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Chris. Yeah, they're just quicker defensively right now against that mammoth size for Minor, but it's not mattering at the moment. White is back in, and he's sacked immediately. Snowed under, if you will, on this first ball Friday. Chase Holt comes in to sack.
I think that was a 3-man blitz. Minor's offensive line just isn't quick enough, and I think that we can talk about the size, we can talk about the power game, but right now they are not quick enough to handle Ramsay's defensive front.
Not much going right for the Minor Tigers right now, so they got to kick it away again. They got one first down in this game. There's another low kick. This time, to your point, they did kick it away from Alexander. That's probably not a bad idea.
Probably not, but I think you probably wish you got a little bit more out of that. He's had 2 punts over 50 yards, so a 26-yard punt isn't the best.
All right, so Minor will bring it up here. So to be 1st and 10 for the Ramsay Rams, who have been in control of this football game, and they've done it on the ground. The weather hasn't been a huge factor. I don't know if they just don't want to throw because of the wind. It is rather gusty, but they've been so successful running. And then there's the first pass, and it's behind the intended receiver, Shia Rice, I should say. He was running an in route, and it was just thrown behind him by Keenan.
I mean, Keenan hasn't been having to do very much passing. I can understand him getting a little bored out back there right now with how well Ramsay has run the ball. But I also know this offense wants to be two-dimensional, and so they don't want to sit back and run it too much, even if it's working. You got to make sure to be able to do both to win games in the future. So that's what they're going to stick with.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Rams. Keenan, by the way, if you recognize the name, his brother is the nose guard for Alabama. So Cameron Keenan, the quarterback, his brother's got a big one tomorrow, I think, against Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
I've heard something about that.
Here comes Martin. First time they've defended him well. He only got a yard on that play. He's been running for chunks all day.
Well, that's what I'm trying to. They've made plays at the line of scrimmage. They've made plays in the backfield. It's what happens between that line of scrimmage and the first down marker where plays aren't happening, and you're going to need that to make stops, consistently, and that's something Minor has to do. We see no deep safety though for the first time all game.
Keenan drops. Pressure coming. He's tucked it away, brings it back up to throwing position, has a man, and that's who else? Deuce Alexander, the star of the game right now with a great catch, bailing his quarterback out of trouble.
Come back to your quarterback when he's in trouble. And a great play by Keenan. Look at that throw. That's such a small window to get that throw into. That's a great throw on the run. Great catch, getting your feet in, securing it. Great play.
So 1st down and 10. Alexander's been terrific in this game. So is Martin, and he's out on the corner again. 35, 30, 20. Got blockers. Still on his feet. That guy is having a night. Martin must have ate some kind of pregame meal because he's going nuts with his 3rd touchdown.
This one was definitely a little bit more difficult. He's been cutting through the defense, but watch here at the end, just being able to break tackles. That is 4 players who got a hand on him there in the final 25 yards, and he wasn't slowing down. He's running the ball too well tonight to ever slow down.
Wow. So Ramsay will go for 2 since they missed the extra point earlier. Looks like 19-0. I mean, when I say Ramsay's in control, Martin is running through those guys. Alexander's running through those guys, and I said 3 touchdowns. He has 2. And here comes trickeration. They throw it back to Keenan for the 2-point conversion. Pretty easy. Shia Rice just took the toss, threw it back to Keenan, and I think there's stoppage of play. There is a penalty. Let's see what that's about. We got a penalty first, and that's against Ramsay. Ineligible receiver downfield for the Rams.
If you're a lineman, you know that Philly special play is happening. You know what's coming. You got to stay put. You cannot go past that line of scrimmage. There's really no reason for you to either if you know that ball is just going to be flicked to the corner of the end zone. I saw a Devontae Smith jersey around here somewhere on Minor's sideline. Maybe they could have expected a Philly special tonight.
So they'll do it in a more conventional way, it looks like here. Alexander was going on the right side, and Keenan just grabbed him by the collar and said, no, I want you flanked to the left. Keenan's got it. He's looking for Alexander. Tosses it up, and that's going to be picked off in the end zone. So that negates the 2-point try there for the Minor Tigers. Yesterday was an incredibly special day at Jeffco Ed. It was Give Hope Day. Students and staff across the district don their gold and yellow in support of those families currently battling childhood cancer. You might not realize it, but every year, more than 500 children in the state of Alabama undergo cancer treatments. We do give hope daily every year, and we give hope on this day as well, on Give Hope Day, as we work to raise awareness of childhood cancer.
And ATI Physical Therapy.
Always a very important day for sure. The families suffering from cancer. And it was good to see Jefferson County school systems get involved. That's the Miners side, and there's just not a lot to get excited about at the moment. Hopefully something breaks here soon. And there's a kick. Got at the 12, and he's knocked down immediately right there. Tyson knocked down by the Rams, and they can't even get out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's something that you have a play like that. You're trying to get your spirit up on the sideline. You see a ball bounce over the kick returner's head. You get tackled. You have your worst field position of the game so far. It's easy to get down. And as I mentioned, you couldn't let Ramsay take control of this game early because this is what was going to happen. And with what Minor went through last week against Gardendale, going down 4 touchdowns, that's just you don't want this to become the norm, that's for sure.
Mom and the kids under the Buc-ee's blanket here tonight. A little chilly with that wind blowing. Minor back at their normal offensive set. White running on the left side, and again he's stoned right there by number 10, Murphy Adams, the first one to hit him from the defensive end position.
It seems like we're watching the same play over and over again right now, but doesn't matter who they have taking the snap, which way they run. Ramsay's defensive front is looking like a team that is closer to the Ramsay team from last year than the team that's 2-3 right now.
So White is a good-looking athlete at quarterback, but he hasn't gotten loose. There's Hurth around the left end. He gets a couple of good kick-out blocks and finally gets some positive yardage. Good kick-out blocks by the lineman here, 6-yard gain.
Yeah, you wanted him to be patient a little earlier. He was a little bit more patient that time. That's going to be after the play flag there, but
yeah, the lineman started talking to the defensive back, and defensive back just pointed at the scoreboard to show him what it said, 19-0, and that's a flag on Minor, and you certainly can't do that in this game.
Yeah, and you can't be losing yards. I mean, we thought that felt like a big play for Minor, right?
No doubt.
And that was 6 yards, and it was 6 yards. And now you're giving back, well, it'll be half the distance, so it'll be 10 of those yards, but you can't be giving away yards like that when they're so hard to come by right now.
Yeah, because that's a dead ball. It's uncalled for, and I know Adrian Abrams is not subscribing to that. And, he knows yards available right now.
Yeah, the coaches down here on the Minor sideline looks like they're trying to have a conversation with the officials. They're in this huddle a little bit more. This might be more than just your regular unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
It looked like an easy call, right? Let's see. Oh, against Ramsay and Minor. So the Tigers are very fortunate that it'll negate the play, but it also negates a loss.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know what was said or what happened down there more than what we could see from up here, I don't love an offsetting penalty in that situation, just for the fact that I think that's how you easily lose control of a game. You're not actually punishing either team right now.
Since it was dead ball after, they leave the play as it stands. So, yeah, that didn't hurt them. And we thought it might back them up, but now it's third and we say manageable, but there haven't been many 3 or 4 yard gains for Minor so far in this football game. That one was 6, however.
They're 0 for 4 so far on third down, so this is a pretty big one that they need just for confidence sake more than anything else.
White is immediately thrown down. I mean, he had no shot whatsoever. Terrence Atkins again, it looked like, coming in. No, it's number 37 coming in. And we'll have to get that name, but it's a backup for the Rams that sacked White.
Yeah, and that's, again, someone came in unblocked on that play. And it was so immediate. You had 2 Minor linemen downfield on this sideline making blocks, and they weren't close to the play. And they're talking to Ramsay guys like they blocked someone downfield, and it's like, well, your quarterback still got sacked.
Jordan Colley with that sack. Here's Alexander, the ever dangerous returner, and that looks normal. And he got about 12 or 13 on that one, but they're living on Minor side of the field right now, and the scoreboard is certainly lit for the Rams at 19-0 with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and this is a situation where 36 yards, again, you're talking about field position. That was a battle that Minor needed to win coming into the night, especially now that you're down by 19. Because 36 yards has been nothing for Ramsay. I mean, they've had 2 touchdowns that have been further than 36 yards. So if you're Minor, you feel like you might need to force a turnover or something. Otherwise, it just feels like Ramsay's going to score in the next couple of plays.
First down and 10. Keenan steps up, straight handoff. This time, good defense by Minor. And coming up hard, number 90, David Mason, the senior defensive end, to knock down LaDarian Berry. Only a couple of yard gain.
Yeah, that was finally some physical play up front for Minor.
Rams gain 2 yards on the play, brings up.
So Jaden Martin, the ever dangerous number 2. You want to talk about deuce on the loose? He's been on the loose the whole night. And he's in the pistol now behind Keenan. They'll go strong left now. They'll run it right. Martin just lowers his head. This time, not much happening. Roman White there, that freshman linebacker, with his 3rd tackle of the night.
And I think Minor's decided that if they're going to give up the play over the top in the passing game, that's just going to have to happen before they leave people out there. They need to sell out on the run right now. The run is the reason this game is 19-0. Passing has not impacted you at all. And I understand the game plan coming in. I understand trying to defend the deep pass. But you needed to make that adjustment 30 minutes ago probably.
3rd down and 7. Keenan rolling right. He's got a man wide open, throws it low. He's just off a little bit tonight. He had a receiver wide open. Shia Rice just sitting there and missed him.
Yeah, I think that's they're moving Keenan quite a bit out of the pocket. And some of it has been Minor's pressure, but some of it's just by play design. And I think everyone knows that when he drops back and plants his feet and lets one loose down the sideline, he has maybe the best deep ball in the game. But he's struggling a little bit while he's moving his feet.
4th down and 7. So without a outstanding kicker, they'll go for it here like many high school teams. There's the screen and a great play there. He threw it to Alexander, but a nice play coming up hard. Number 9, DeLove Shaver, the linebacker.
Now, if there's a play that Minor has figured out, it's the screen pass. That's the 2nd screen pass on 4th down that they have shut down to get a turnover on down. So that's a big play, a needed play for Minor's defense.
And finally, they got decent field position with that stop as they're on the 36-yard line. Let's see what they could do with it. Again, behind a massive line that averages well over 315. But it hasn't proved to be advantageous so far tonight. Whistle.
Timeout Ramsay. I don't think they had enough players on the field.
So Ramsay calls a timeout. 19-0. Ramsay on top.
Timeout on the field.
In this game tonight. There's a good look at the huddle for Adrian Abrams. Again, he was a assistant at Hoover on the Josh Niblett coaching tree that has put out a heck of a lot of coaches. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Be sure you join us next Friday night as we jump back into region play. We go to corner. Corner's top 10 right now. The Yellow Jackets, what a season they're having. They came into tonight's game 4-0. We'll see what happens tonight. But next week they host Briarwood Christian, Matthew Forrester's team, who's really good too. And you'll see every play of it right here on Jeffco Ed TV. Chris gets you started with a pregame show at 6:40. Caleb and I will join you at kickoff at 7 o'clock. Looking forward to that one. In corner, up in the northern part of Jefferson County, there's a run inside by White, and he'll get actually 4 yards on that carry. I was talking about Adrian Abrams, Caleb, on that Josh Niblett coaching tree that has Robert Evans, the head coach of Vestavia, Arvia Holmes, the head coach at McAdory, just all kind of coaches falling out of the realm there of those state championship teams at Hoover that have running their own programs now.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's surprised by that based off what that Hoover program accomplished during the Niblett years. I think obviously the Rush Pope years come to mind and the two-a-day, program and all of that they accomplished. But when Josh Niblett took over, that's a hard job to take over. We've seen that now. And he took over and kept Hoover where Hoover needed to be for so long. And a lot of coaches saw how to run a program the way he did things. And it's made high school football in Alabama better as a whole.
White with a 1-yard game. You just made me think of this. You could argue pretty easily that they've struggled more to replace Niblett than they did Probst, right?
Yeah.
The way it's looking now, with 100% vision as you look backwards, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think the pressure to replace Probst might have been a little bit more. But then again, whoever's placing, when you come time to replace Josh Niblett, you also had the Thompson effect. And Josh Niblett didn't have that when he started. The pressure of trying to beat Thompson year in, year out, too. So that was something that Wade Waldrop did, but struggled to do much more.
White hands off again. They'll get maybe a yard over there. Kamari Bell spending time in the backfield lately, the wide receiver. They need some speed back there, and it's 4th down and 5, and it looks like another punt
Tigers come out 4th down.
for the
4th and 5.
Tigers.
That possession started with a busted play that gained 4 yards, and it ended up being the busted play was their best play of the series, and that's kind of how the night has gone so far for Miners offense.
Alexander back deep. He is dangerous if you've been watching this game. The kick, and he may not get a chance. He's run up and caught those before. As the kick
Tiger punt is down at the 22-yard line.
by Josa.
The Rams will come out 1st and 10. Ball spotted.
And he has got it down there. Let's go to Chris on the sideline. Chris, what you got?
Hey, you guys up there, you're talking about the pedigree of Coach Abrams, and certainly we're watching him work down here, but I can tell you this, you guys might want to be the ones to come down here and interview him at halftime, because he is not a happy camper as the scoreboard dictates, down 19 points. Back to you guys upstairs.
Yeah, I've already interviewed him once. He was in a fine mood. The game had not started yet.
Nah,
he's not going to be
the pregame interviews.
Yes, he's not going to be very happy at all. But it is 19-0. He's got to get something going here, and they just can't hang their hat on anything. And there goes Martin again on the outside. He's just gliding down the field. Martin is going to score. That's a 77-yard touchdown run. And Caleb, he looked like he was out for just a stroll.
I mean, that is something he did. He made it look easy, and once he got past those linebackers, he waited on this block up here. Watch him just freeze, number 3, get behind his blocker and take off. It's like the defense didn't know he had the space on the sideline. He knew it. He knew he had the space on the sideline. I don't even know if he had to slow down right there. It almost was like a little bit of, hey, you can't get me, and he ended up going the 80 yards into the end zone.
That change of pace froze Sherman Williams, but Sherman should have lived up to his name and painted him and been more aggressive, knocking him out of bounds, and he kind of slowed up with him. It was really odd to see.
Yeah, I think it reminded me of the run 15 years ago. Trent Richardson did that to an Ole Miss defensive back. He kind of froze him on the sideline when he could have just been chased down easily.
He stopped and the guy stopped.
He stopped and the defender stopped. He said, okay, well, I'm going to keep running now, and made it into the end zone. I
remember that run. Very odd looking. So penalty against Ramsay, so they'll back it up again and try the extra point. And this time it is up, and it is good. So Ramsay well in control of this football game. 26 to nothing. And there's Anthony Abrams, and he's just trying to find something that works right now.
Yeah, you have to find some positives. And this is almost the exact situation that they were in last week with Gardendale, being down 4 touchdowns close to the end of the first half. So they've been here, but how will they respond in a non-region game like this one?
So Minor is reeling a little bit, but still a well-coached team, and they're 3-1 on the year. But you can see also the more difficult schedule of the 2-3 Rams has shaped them a bit more than the 3-1. Not an easy schedule for Minor, but certainly easier than what Ramsay has faced.
Sure, and I mean you have to imagine, this is no disrespect to Minor, but when you're blocking Minor, it feels a little bit easier than those games when you were blocking Clay Chalkville and Parker and these teams that had more depth and just a little bit more difficult to play. And Jade Martin's having himself a career game. He's now over 200 yards in the first half.
Wow, in the first half. There's another kick finally caught by Minor at the 39-yard line. And that's where they'll set up, trying to get something positive going.
Kickoff is down by the Tigers.
With 3:26 to go in the first half.
First and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
I figured Ramsay, it was kind of a misnomer that they were 2-3 because of their schedule. Their quarterback had missed a game with sickness, but I had no idea we would see this. I don't think you did either in this first half so far.
No, not as dominant as they've been. I mean, I think that it could have been pretty – I mean, because if you're looking at how we felt at the beginning of the season about this game, you would have said, yeah, Ramsey's probably the heavy favorite in this game. But just with the way the season is played and looking susceptible in different ways and the way Minor has looked good in different games as well, it's just this wasn't expected in the first half alone.
Amir White was trying to find his namesake Dom White, and that is not to the turf. So 2nd down and 10. So the normally run-happy Tigers maybe need to throw it to open up the run game a little bit because nothing else is opening it up very much.
Well, Ramsay was the pass team, right? And running is working for them, so why not Minor could try to switch things up too, see if it'll work.
They flip disciplines. 2nd down and 10. Hurth gets it around right end, and again, not much going on over there. I mean, the Rams, to your point, they're just so quick over there, and leading the way was James Reynolds, a junior defensive tackle at number 55 there, and Ron Jackson's got to be very pleased with how his Rams have come out. They're if they get the win tonight, that's a dangerous 3-3 team.
Yeah, and I think that's something that might play into this a little bit is that Ramsay's actually been on the other side of a blowout this year. You know, they got blown out by Clay Chalkville. That was a 62-7 football game,
which is hard to believe.
Yeah, and that's how good Clay Chalkville is. But Ramsay has seen that happen. And yeah, a non-region game may not matter, but they are making sure that they're not dropping another game this year if they have anything to say about it. And it's the way they're playing right now tells me they won't.
White throws it to Bell, and there's flags down. A late hit maybe on this end down here, and hopefully they get those players out of there in a hurry. And it looked like in the middle of things was number 31, who's not on my too deep, but in any event, they'll get him on the other side.
It didn't look – I mean, I'm fine with flag being thrown for a late hit. It didn't look necessarily like it was a dirty play. It was just like he kept going. You know, he just kept driving him out of bounds, and on that kind of play, I think it's fine to throw a flag.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty. That will help Minor's case. So they'll get a free 15. Coach is getting animated to really get their guys pumped up to let's move the football.
For the record, even before the penalty, that was the first 3rd down conversion Minor has had so far tonight.
Wow.
And the 15 yards will be a nice cherry on top for them, I'm sure. Because it'd be it could go a long way in how it feels in the locker room if they can get a score before this first half ends.
Not a lot to cheer about here at Tony Lunsford Field at Minor. But they'll be happy with this 15 yards mark-off that will put them well inside Ramsay territory. In fact, inside the 35, I should say, to the 34-yard line.
I think another thing on that sideline, Matt, have made that seem a little worse is that the band is already setting up a little bit, and they had those stands up for their directors to stand on, and so when you drive a player into that, it's not going to look good.
Again, Amir White just not waiting on his blockers there, in my opinion, and, he'll get – well, he got back to the line of scrimmage, but he didn't wait on his blockers to have a little patience to have them get some interference for him.
And I think that probably comes from the frustration of how this offense has gone so far. You think you have to make the play. And when
everybody's trying to make a play, right?
When you see the space, you think that's my space, I can get there, and then it's gone because of how good this defense is.
White rolling right, he does that a lot, being a left-handed quarterback, and this time he kind of lost his footing, but there to make sure he did again was Murphy Adams, a defensive end, number 10.
Yeah, he definitely slipped a little, but then the pressure was there right on top of him anyway, and I'm not sure how much longer he would have lasted, even if he kept his footing there. If he wasn't making a throw, these quick rollouts, you have to make a throw once it's there.
The House of Pain has not lived up to its name, at least for Ramsay. It's more self-inflicted pain for the Tigers so far tonight. Scott Griffin, Caleb Turrentine, our fine Jefferson County School System Jeff Co-Ed TV team here. John Huddleston, our executive producer, hanging out with us tonight. John Rocket making us look good, and our host of great professionals giving you these superb pictures and sounds. There's White swinging it out to Hurth. And again, out there in no man's land with not much blocking, trying to get up some blocking from the receiver, but Dom White couldn't do a lot, and that pursuit by the Rams.
Yeah, it's the way that they are swarming to the ball has been incredibly impressive.
There we are.
Fourth and long for the Tigers. Fourth down.
We're staying up here making sure the Ramsay defense can't find us because right now they're finding everyone. So I think we have to feel kind of safe up here.
This fence is not blocking the wind very well. Have you noticed?
I'm feeling every bit of that wind.
It's quite yeah, and we're getting close to the end of the first half. And I think Minor and Ramsay will both be good with that as it's 26-0. Adrian Abrams has never felt better about a halftime coming right now. He's just been his team's been dominated, and he's making a beeline to Chris Osborne. So let's go down to Chris with Coach Abrams.
All right, Coach, you're down right now. How do you get back in this game?
Man, it just starts with one play at a time. You can't look for 28 points when we can't get a series going right now. So it starts with one play at a time, maintaining our composure or gathering our composure, and one play at a time, man, just doing what we're supposed to do and what we're coached to do.
So you got a huge offensive line. How do you get those big guys making holes and making your guys have impact plays?
I mean, it's not rocket science, doing what we're coached to do every day. We've got to improve our pad level. I mean, they're smaller up front, but they are really quick. And so we got to get our pads down to start. Our first steps have got to be right, and it just goes back to fundamental football blocking and tackling.
Coach, last thing before I let you go, they've been tearing up the corners. They're going around the edges. How do you stop that?
We got to stay at home. We got people there, and we're getting hooked. We're getting sealed sometimes. We're being undisciplined with our eyes and getting our eyes inside, and when your eyes get inside, they hook that outside shoulder, and you're done. So you got to get that improved.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, Chris, Adrian Abrams, of course, he's been to the playoffs 3 straight years, 18, 19, 20, trying to get back there and get this team back on the right track at 3-1, but getting blanked right now by Ramsay, 26-0. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got the band and a lot more halftime festivities coming up. You're watching Jeff Co-Ed TV Game of the Week.
Hello, Jeff Co-Ed family. We are excited to announce our signature academies. Here's what you can look forward to.
I try to give you a little bit of everything. So I'm really getting the workforce ready. We're trying to get electricians out of here, industrial maintenance technicians. Single pole switch, wired to a receptacle, wired to a light source. You cannot get this type of training outside of the school system unless you pay for it.
This is a great class to learn how to do things for life.
They will learn how to do some electrical work at home, how to do some of their own plumbing, and how to maintain their yard, shrubbery, and what it is to plant a garden.
That's leaking around there.
This is going to provide students with skills to be able to step into those positions to help out in a market that is definitely hiring.
I like that we do a lot of hands-on activities.
We actually perform experiments that an actual lab technician would do in the lab, or a forensic technician or forensic anthropologist would do out in the real world.
I like this class because I learned a lot better with my hands.
You'll get a card. It'll tell about your certification, and it carries some weight out in the industry, so you can say, hey, I've been certified in this level and this level.
The other one has a spacer, so that one.
And then move back.
We make cool things, get to try cool things, play with robots.
And got way to make it longer.
I like music technology because I feel like it explains what goes on past the lyrics in songs. I feel like it really helps you understand, where the beats come from, how different a song sounds without lyrics.
Jeff Co-Ed's signature academies. Come join us.
Listen to the visiting band, the Ramsay Rams, out on the turf at Tony Lunsford Field.
to you, our beautiful, unlovely, talented Blue Diamond dancers as we step back and bring you Britney Spears, Hot Step. Let's go, Blue Diamond dancers. Blue Diamond dancers. I can't forget about our Blue Diamond flag corps. and most definitely our Blue Diamond Twirlers. This is not the old Ramsay we used to. As we move to dance formation, we're going to bring you some old and a little bit of new. We're going to start this thing off right. Let's go, Blue Pride. Turn up. Let's go. Let's go back. Come on. Come on. Swerve on. You never had. Come on. Blue Pride. Swerve on.
What an outstanding performance by the Ramsay Blue Pride Band. And coming up next is the Minor Purple Tenacious Tigers Band for the final part of halftime.
Adamsville, Alabama. I present to you the often imitated but never, ever duplicated, the standard of high school marching band, the sound of Superior Marching Band from Tigerland. The band is led by, you see them, the drum majors, the two live crews, Miss Zoe Dixon and Mr. Isaiah Sanders. Show them some love. The two live crews. All right, fans, it's halftime. It's the Redemption Tour. You know how we get it started. Get up and clap your hands. Join in. Here we go. This is why they call us the Sound of Superior. The band goes into the drill. Get ready. By the Temptations. Lovato. The Tigerette kick line. The Tigerette sponsors Miss Anaya King and coaches Miss Lex Hawkins and Miss Jasmine Little. And we know you hear them. The heartbeat, the purple rain, the production section of the Sounds of Superior marching band. Instructor Mr. Kevin Mays. The band now plays the tune Ain't No Stopping Us Now by McFadden and Whitehead. Featured in the part, the Spinning Eagles, the Color Guard. Spinning Diva sponsor, Miss Kalisha Porter, and coach, Miss Keoki Triplett. The SOS band moves into block band formation. The tunes tonight, Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar, $1 Million Baby, Tommy Rich, Like That, Metro Boomin, and Future. And we did it with many men by 50. for Varsity.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I come in the building every day, for the past 18 years, truly just with the intent to impact students. So it's kind of like the perimeter or the outer edges. We try to develop, fun and engaging activities, where students can see that relevance. We find activities that, relate to the students, or activities that students are interested in that are still standards based. This is 16, so that's 6 divided by what?
I think the amazing thing about Ms. Law is that she cares for her students, and that's one of the greatest qualities that you can have as a teacher.
Okay, let's come over here to this one and see how you like this one.
When you care about kids and you have a relationship, basically you get more from your students, and she does just that.
People can feel my spirit and know that my intentions are genuine. I want the best for each student. Anytime a faculty member is in need, faculty or staff, I want to do whatever I can to make the school work well. Great learning experience. I've always thought, I want to be able to inspire a student, whether they become a mathematician or not, but I want to inspire them to be the best that they can be.
Jeff Co-Ed Secondary Teacher of the Year is Mrs. Nastasia Law, Minor High School.
Welcome back to Tony Lunsford Field here at Minor. That crowd needs something to cheer about. Their team down 26-0 to the Ramsay Rams tonight. Let's go with Caleb and see what other scores we got around some interesting games going on.
Yeah, I will say I saw the Minor crowd getting up there a little bit during the halftime performance, so they were having some fun then. But, yeah, we appreciate everyone who's tuning in and watching us in this one. We know there's several big games out there, most notably the Clay Chalkville-Thompson one. Talked about every year. Clay Chalkville up 7-0 right now at halftime. Expected low-scoring game, but Clay Chalkville really giving Trent Seaborn's offense some struggles there. Hewitt-Trustville up 38-0 on Pinson Valley.
Wow.
Pinson Valley just, doing them to themselves with the schedule that they've played so far. They just hope it pays off in the second half of the year. Cherokee County up 20-0 on Shades Valley. Cherokee County, a very good 4A football team. Garndale up 20-7 on Central Tuscaloosa. Centerpoint up 16-0 on 7A Jag. That'd be a really good road win.
Very good win
for Coach Bates and his team. So those are some of the scores. We'll definitely keep an eye on them throughout the night and continue to update them in the second half. And of course, the 26-0 Ramsay lead here at Minor.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. We knew Ramsay was not what their 2-3 schedule said, but we had no idea it was a 26-0, and Jaden Martin with well over 200 yards in the first half. And all I can say, Caleb, is that he's just been gliding.
Yeah, he had 236 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. All 3 were at least 40 yards.
Was he hit? It didn't seem like it. Right?
Maybe not, because you see someone with 250 yards rushing, you're thinking they're a workhorse, they're getting carries. No, this guy's still fresh.
Yeah.
What could he do
How many
in the
carries
second
is
half?
that?
He has 9 carries. I don't know.
He's been in almost a full sprint. I think he stopped once for maybe a few yards. The rest of them have been minimum 15, 20.
You've got to be thinking that a school record, a program record, obviously a personal record are in his sights right now, and definitely possible. It's just how long does he stay on the field if this lead keeps growing?
So Minor needs something to go right. And Adrian Abrams just needs to get something going for his team. They've tried. They've gone big and powerful with that big offensive line. They've put Lyman in the backfield. They've tried throwing it a little bit. They put speed in the backfield with the wide receiver, but not much has happened so far.
Yeah, meanwhile, they have 16 yards of offense. And yes, you have to give a lot of the credit to Ramsay's defense. They came out and they wanted to make a statement. As we mentioned, they've been on the other side of the blowout so far this season in a couple of games where they were going up against teams much better than them. So even in a game that you thought might have been matched up a little bit more evenly, Ramsay came out ready to make a statement. And I think they've made one and shown us that, hey, they're still just as big a threat in Class 5A and to anyone in the state as they have been the past couple of years.
So there's the kick, and you kick it to Alexander, who's already got one return for a touchdown. That time he ran into resistance right near the 30-yard line, and that's where the Rams will set up their offensive series, their first one of the second half. But I tell you what, Minor needs some things to go right here in the second half. No game is over, especially this early in the third, but you just want to get things going right. As Anthony, again, I keep calling him Anthony Abrams, Adrian said to Chris, one play at a time. Let's build on this thing and get it going.
Yeah, and I think that's something that has to start on this first possession. Yeah, it's the offense that's struggling, but you got to show you can stop the run, maybe force a turnover if Cameron Keenan's still a little bit off like this. Just have a play, one play at a time. That one play can just do such a massive difference to just the attitude and the energy on a sideline. So
Keenan overthrew Keebler on that one, and he's been off, but he hasn't had to be on for this 26-0 lead. And again, he's the brother of Tim Keenan, the nose guard for the Crimson Tide. This time Keenan goes around in. He's down the sideline, and he'll get to the 48-yard line. So that's a 22-yard gain.
Yeah, and that's a part of his game that they don't, they don't want to see him taking hits too often because of how he throws the ball. But in a game like this where he hasn't had too much of a role to play, I kind of like that. Let him get out onto the edge, and if he has the space, take it.
First down and 10. Looking to throw again, through it, and it looked like the receiver stopped. It looked like a crossing route, Shia Rice, but he didn't follow through, and it went off the arm of a Tiger.
Yeah, was that one of those RPOs where he thought the ball had been handed off and he just stopped running this route? Lucky that ball wasn't intercepted again. A play that looked like, they just weren't really on the same page, and if the cornerback had been looking a little bit more, that ball was nearly right into his path.
So second down 10. This time handoff. That's Martin again, and his second shortest run of the night is very close to a first down.
Shortish, right? That's
and
what
it
they
is
say.
A first down.
They're giving him the first down, 10 more yards.
And they're in a hurry up now. First and 10 from the 37-yard line. Give it to Martin again, run the same play again. And a bit more resistance, but he'll get 4 off the left side before he is drugged down by David Mason, the defensive end. And concern on the Minor high school fans' faces, and it's certainly not surprising.
Yeah, and I think you're sitting here and probably thinking, I know I've mentioned it, it's not something you want to tread on too much, or else you're just going to make it happen again. But those 3-1 starts, they feel good, but they've happened before. And flag on the sideline over there. You just have to make sure that there's no avalanche that comes from a loss.
Yeah.
Again, not a loss. Just the way the sideline feels right now, something has to come from this game for Minor to build off of.
Nathan Kelly on that tackle, the backup middle linebacker, number 5, and there's a flag down, so we're trying to unravel that. There's the Parkway, as they call it, the Adamsville Inslee Parkway, which the school is located just off of. That's what's on the back of every jersey. Personal foul, Ramsay. Personal foul, Minor. We've had our second offsetting personal foul calls here, which amounts to basically nothing at the end of the day.
Just another 2-yard run, maybe.
Third down and a short 8. Keenan flips it out to Martin. He's got blockers in front. That time belted. Finally, they got somebody in their sights. And coming up hard was Michael Hraboski with that hit on Martin. He's been hard to hit tonight.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. How he should be fresh. That's a good way to make him think twice that a guy might be coming his way. That's a big hit. And again, probably the first time we've seen him get gang tackled by multiple players on Miners defense. So
he only ended up getting, a yard or two on that swing pass. But, again, with no kicker, 4-down territory a lot for the Rams.
I don't think there was a timeout. I think it was just an injury delay.
Yeah, they're talking about it on the sideline. There's a good look at Anthony Abram. Again, Adrian Abrams. I don't know why in the world I want to call him Anthony.
Find an Anthony Abrams somewhere.
He's going to wring my neck here. Adrian Abrams, the coach who was the longtime assistant for Josh Nibble at Hoover. He's been here, been to the playoffs 3 years. He's got a nice thing going here at Minor, a brand new field house for Adrian and the crew. So let's see if they can get a stop, get off the field here. And now there's a timeout. Ramsay.
Now their coaching staff, for a coach that's up 26 points, they don't look very happy.
So we'll take a timeout with the team. If you have a background in special education, Jeffco Ed wants to talk to you. Right now, qualifying exceptional education employees can earn up an extra $4,200 a year. More details can be found on our district social media channels. And to apply, just head on over to jeffcoed.com. And we are right above the band, as you can hear. So
we wanted a part of it.
Difficult to hear over the crowd. Another good look at Adrian Abrams, the head coach, directing his team on 4th down and 5.
You know, with the way they've been running the ball, it's hard to say to not just hand it off and see if you get it. If you don't, it's not terrible field position to give up. So with the way Cameron Keenan's been throwing the ball, I wouldn't be surprised to just see a straight handoff here.
Keenan drops. He's getting pressured. Throws it up for grabs and not even close to being tackled there. Late flag comes out. He was getting pressured over there by Mason, but a late flag here. And it's near the line of scrimmage, so not sure what that's about.
I think
personal foul.
A blindside block.
And that's against Ramsay.
I believe they would have to decline that. That can't be.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd almost certainly. It's not after the play, obviously.
Correct.
So, and they'll decline it and take over. So a nice start to the third quarter for the Minor Tigers as they respond to Adrian Abrams and the assistant coaches there, stopping Ramsay, especially after Ramsay had a little momentum, had a couple of big plays.
Well, that was a lot like their first drive in the first half. They got some yards, but they didn't give up the big play, and that's been the backbreaker.
Little wildcat action with number 3, and that's the backup quarterback, Sherman Williams. He's a senior, and he didn't get much going on there.
He turned like he was going to hand the ball off to somebody, and there wasn't even anyone lined up next to him. It wasn't even like they went to the wrong side. There was no one in the backfield with him.
Williams swings it out to the left side, and that's Kamari Bell, who they're trying to get the ball to. And he might get a couple on that side. And it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, Bell has gotten the ball 6 times. That doesn't include his snaps, and he only has 8 yards to show for it. They've wanted him to do a whole lot more with the ball.
They throw it out on the wide receiver.
And there goes the 6 yards he had.
And just, again, nothing happening over there. Just Ramsay's all over the field, and Minor can't rely on anything to get this game going.
That relentlessness from Ramsay's defense coming out in the third quarter. We talked about it. It feels like more than a 26-point lead, and that's just because of how good Ramsay's defense has played. And there's nothing that Minor can get going consistently on offense to get yards to make you believe that they could put up 7 points, much less 26.
4th down and 14. Some late arrivals out on the field for the Tigers. And another guy trying to run on and off. Minor's just discombobulated all over the field right now. There's the kick, and it is away. They try to punt it away from Alexander. That's probably not a bad idea to punt it out of bounds. We'll take a break. 26-0 Ramsay on top of Minor. You're watching the Jeff Coed Game of the Week.
It's an underrated job for everybody else, but for us, it's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives. You know, kids will remember some teachers, but they'll usually always remember their bus driver because the bus driver's with them for so long. I mean, so many years of their life.
To the very first play from the scrimmage, and it'll go all the way to the 1 yard line. The backup quarterback, Davy Lawrence, a freshman, with that explosive play around in from the quarterback position, and even he is having a large time here at Minor's expense. As an injured Tiger trying to get off the field. And Davy Lawrence, a freshman, going all the way down to the 1.
Yeah, lining up in the backfield as a running back on that play. Just another sweep that once he got past that line of scrimmage, it was like no one was there. Minor stuck with that one a little bit more to trip him up before he got to the end zone, but now we're 1st and goal from the 1.
Lawrence gets it, drops it, and that's a freshman that hadn't played much. Mistake. I think he fell on it, but that'll lose a few yards back to the 5 yard line. Not that it matters at this point. 26-0 Ramsay. That may be the worst thing they've done all night right there is drop a snap.
4 yard loss, that is no, outside of sacks, that is their biggest loss of the night. Which I guess that technically goes down as a sack. I'm not sure if the quarterback recovers it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. So Lawrence back at quarterback again. He's the backup freshman. He's going to get it and just run around in, makes a move, and gets a couple of yards over there before he is drugged down. Again, Big Mason over there with the tackle, number 90, along with some friends.
When he made that cut, I thought he might have been able to cut back and find the end zone. Stumbled just a bit, kept his feet, getting a couple of yards out of a play that looked like it was going to be a loss.
I think Jakari McDonald was also in on that, big number 98. So it is 3rd down from the 3. Handoff straight up the middle. Boy, he looked like he was going to lean in, but the Tigers with that pride stand up Ladarian Berry. So it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, that's a great shot down the line right
wow.
there. He is
Good
so close. And again, that's something that the Minor coaching staff is going to want to see. You're down to the 1 yard line, still continue to make a play. And again, that gang tackling that wasn't there in the first half, pretty much on any defensive play, got in there. And here comes Cameron Keenan now from the 2 yard line. I would almost expect a quarterback sneak here, bringing in the big body Keenan for a play like this.
That was a great play. by Chris Lee, number 45, on that tackle, standing him up. Keenan gets it around in, and he'll just walk in for the touchdown.
Quarterback keeper for the Rams.
A predictable
Keenan
play.
Gets his touchdown pretty easily around left end.
I don't know if he came in because they wanted him to get the touchdown or if because, hey, on third down, you just trust him to go and make the play after it. Because he didn't come in on the first down play from the one, so they just wanted to make sure to put a little extra cushion on it, and extra point would officially make it a 5-possession game.
But the legs of Lawrence have got him down to the 1, right?
And then went backwards. So.
Yeah, and they went backwards, right. So there's the kick. Lazily, I thought it went over the crossbar, but that illusion makes it look like it. They missed it. So that may be the other thing they've got to work on. Other than that, Ramsay looks pretty unstoppable tonight. 32-0. Let's go down to Chris on the sidelines. Chris, what you got, man?
Hey, guys, you're right on point. The kick was no good. And with the freshman coming in, there is a lot of promise. He cut through. He made some moves just like you guys thought. I thought he was going, but he's not. Then the veteran quarterback comes in and, like you said, walks in. But certainly they wanted to walk away with points, and that's exactly what they did here in the end zone. Back to you guys up top.
Yeah, you don't want to get down there for sure and leave points on the field.
Yeah, and in a dominant win like this, Cameron Keenan is your star guy. He's the face of your team. He's the leader of your team, and he's also a big-time recruit. It doesn't hurt to get him 6 points when he can go away from the defense and not even get touched, get away from contact. This is still a 4-possession game. I mean, because 4 touchdowns, 4 2-point conversions, if we want to do the exact math.
Is that promo Caleb talking? Or is that color analyst Caleb talking?
You could stick around because we could still see a comeback. You wouldn't want to miss it if they did come back. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsay's definitely in control, but there's a break right there. Good run out by Minor on that one, and that's number 4, Kamari Bell. He's made some plays for him tonight.
That shows right there exactly why they want to get the ball in his hands, because when he has the space, he can make something happen. That being said, they haven't had a lot of space to even attempt to make things happen, and even if Ramsay's going a little bit more with their backups on the offensive side of the ball, you see that front 7, at least the front 4, is still their starters. They're trying to shut down any kind of run game.
Sherman Williams, their backup, is in, and he's sacked immediately. They're bringing the funk now, and that is Ryan Reese, I should say, the senior, coming after.
Ryan Reese, relation to QB Reese, I believe, from the last couple of years. He was the star middle linebacker for the team the past couple of years. And certainly he's a great player that will be missed, but their defense has seemed just fine tonight without him.
Again, they're not very big. He's not a big guy. He's probably 220, but he's not massive. But they are handling that 300-plus pound line to the man of Minor. Long thrown route, beautifully thrown. They finally got a big play. Dom White on one end, and the quarterback Williams on the other.
Yeah, that's a great pass, and that's something that they've needed because that pressure is so quick. Take your 2-step drop and put that ball into space and let your receiver go get it. The timing on that was great. He caught the ball with his hands. He didn't need a basket catch for it. That's a great play and a needed play.
So Adrian Abrams and his staff got to feel good about that, but let's punch one in, right? Low snap, boy, almost lost it, still on the ground, but the Tigers fall on it. Just got a little antsy there. Wasn't a bad snap, it didn't appear, but Williams just laid it on the ground. So to be second down, and now you dropped it because you're snapping it backwards, right? 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, and that's kind of the story for Minor, right? They had a play. They haven't had that big of a play all night, but just any kind of positive yards and something happens to make you go back.
And there's a personal foul on tack of it, so that'll back him up even further. I don't know what that's about.
That was after the play, too. He still signaled it was second down. So
wow. So
it's not only the loss of yards, but also the 15 yards on top.
You lost 5, and then you tacked on 15. So they've got to get down to the 17-yard line. So right when you get a good big chunk play to Dom White, a couple of mental errors, and you're back down to second and forever.
Second and 30. This is these are the situations you didn't want to be in when it was 0-0. You didn't want to get behind the sticks. To lose that kind of focus on a snap and a penalty, two things that are self-inflicted.
Williams rolling. Can't find anybody. Shakes one defender. Still on his feet and tough running. He'll end up getting only 3 or 4, but he ran about 40. But it'll be third down and a long way.
Williams on the keeper.
Yeah, I don't mind the, trying to find some time. But he never really looked like he wanted to throw the ball. And, again, when you have that far to go, I think you need to let go of the ball and try to let someone make a play down the field.
It's the third down. They got to get, again, to the 17-yard line. They'll snap it at the 45. Not many plays in the playbook for this. But we'll see what happens. Sherman rolling left, throws and trying to find Dom White, but a good play defensively over there by the safety Marlon Tall.
This would be a good angle on the throw. I thought he was trying to throw to the receiver behind him, actually, to number 4.
May have been, yeah.
But it was a good play to knock it down before it even got to him.
Trying to find Kamari Bell looked like, you're right. But he just didn't throw it tall enough. So they got to punt this one. It's just too far.
Still got to play the field position game, right? You got to make Ramsay work for it. Let your defense give him a chance. You don't want to keep going the ball at the 50-yard line and end up giving up 50 points.
I wouldn't be punting it to number 9, would you?
I don't know if I'd be pooch punting it that much. You had a decent chance of pinning him deep.
They got him on the 20, but number 9 didn't touch it, right?
The Rams will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
So good look at Coach Abrams and his staff. They thought they had something going there, and they did for a moment. But, again, shot themselves in the foot a little bit. And, again, he's just wanting to clean up the game now, right? You're getting close to the fourth quarter. It's 2:14. It's already 32-0. Now you want to clean up the game and clean up your team's play because you are 3-1. You got 3 good wins, and let's clean it up a little bit for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think that's a positive note. You saw what playing against better opponents has done for Ramsay since the beginning of the year. And Minor, you just sometimes you swallow and like you wish you had a better performance tonight, obviously, but Ramsay might just be a better team. Ramsay's a very good football team, and playing them tonight, you just have to make sure it matters down the road and that you didn't just lose this game to lose this game, but you actually take something from it.
Mason actually knocked down Martin, so he hasn't had great success in the second half so far after having 230-plus in the first half. Keenan looking deep, running, and his helmet gets knocked off. So he'll find his headgear, and that'll be third down at about 4.
A little surprised to see the starters back in for Ramsay. I think they might have wanted to take another shot down the field there. And I thought he had him, too. I thought he had Alexander on the right side, on the near sideline for us.
Yeah, he was rolling left, though, and it's hard for him to see, but I think he did have a step on his man, right? Third down and 4. Lawrence, the freshman, throws a screen. Good call for him. Breaking through, and I don't think he'll have the first down. It was like maybe a yard shy. Chris Lee over there again, number 45, getting some playing time here in this game and still fighting hard for the Tigers. So 4th and 1.
That's the first time I think Minor has stopped Ramsay on third down in their own territory. We've seen it because they've gone out and they've gone for it on 4th down, and obviously this far back, 26-point lead, I don't expect them to, or 32-point lead, excuse me. But that's the kind of stop that Minor hasn't gotten the entire night. The first 3 and out, I think as well.
Fourth down and 1. There's the kick. Bell will let it bounce out of bounds.
It's going to go way up there. I think that ball.
They'll have it on the 45-yard line. Good field position again. 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. And again, at this point,
the Tigers, 45-yard line.
The outcome of the game's not in doubt, but Coach Abrams and his staff just want some positivity. And there you see he's still coaching. He's still in there. He's still trying to improve. He's still – because you got region play. This is a non-region game. So at the end of the day, you hate to say it doesn't matter, but it really does not matter.
Well, and I think the coaching staff will tell you that. Like, what doesn't matter is what that scoreboard is going to say at the end of the night. What does matter is your performance, and they are going to say that, you know, this wasn't our best performance, and we have things we need to correct. But you're right. When you can put away the result and just say, you know, this result, yeah, every loss stings, but it's not going to impact our season too much, then you can maybe swallow it a little bit better and then go back to work and be like, now we know what we need to fix when we play against better teams, which they have better teams coming down the stretch, including Parker and Homewood.
Yeah, Sherman Williams, that pass was errant, so no harm there. It'd be 2nd down and 10. Minor Tiger cheerleaders trying to find something to cheer about. Everybody looking on the wristband, seeing what will work. Hurth is there, Sherman Williams. And they do that familiar switch, changing the strength of the line. This time Williams will try to run around it. He'll vacate, go back where it was, and that was not a great idea. Tons of Rams there to knock him down as we head to the 4th quarter. 32-0, Ramsay on top of the Minor Tigers. You're watching the Jeff Coed Game of the Week.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. I'm Dr. Beth Miller, Director of Child Nutrition. This school year, we are thrilled to offer free breakfast and lunch at no cost to all students enrolled in in-person learning. As a community eligibility provision district, we encourage all families to take advantage of this opportunity. Our child nutrition program is devoted to providing healthy and nutritious meals to help fuel our students for a day of learning and growth. From crispy Crispitos to fruits and vegetables, it will all be available for free. If a student would like an extra item, those may be purchased. Again, we encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity so we can continue to provide in future years. So let's seize the day and shape the future this 2024-25 school year.
As we lowered the colors, as high schools do at the end of the 3rd quarter. One more quarter to go here. Again, the game in doubt is not a big mystery, but Minor still has guys wanting to play hard. Coach Abrams is trying to find something positive to take into next week. You know how it is, Caleb, on that kind of thinking.
Yeah, I think that's why you keep in, you know, your starters at a certain point. You need them to have something positive. You need to have something build off of a loss like this, and that's tough to do.
Sherman Williams throws it to nobody in the middle of the field. So let's go to Chris Osborne down the sidelines. Chris, what you got?
Hey guys, I'm feeling like I'm missing something. All these ladies have lays. Tell me about the lays. Tell me your name first.
Kinsley Embry, Hannah Murphy, Ryan Williams.
All right, tell me about the lays around your necks and everybody having the same thing on in the stands.
It's the most interactive theme for the crowd, and I feel like it's like really cool. Keep us in a tropical feeling, you know?
All right, tropical feeling. It's not feeling like a tropical night, so how do you guys keep the crowd motivated?
We just got to stay positive. No matter what the scoreboard look like, we still got to, you know, cheer on our team.
All right, give me a real quick cheer.
1, we are the
And thank you, Chris, as Mr. Alexander just picked it up, did a pirouette right off a defender on top of him, and then just ran it 70 yards or so.
72. I was counting it down. I was thinking if he goes all the way, that's going to be 82 this time instead of 81.
There he is on the pirouette.
That is.
He and Martin have just, I don't know who's more impressive.
You know, at a certain point, I think I like that the coaches tell him, hey, we trust you. You know, that's a play that a lot of coaches will tell you, don't touch that ball.
Yeah,
Get
why
out of the
are
way.
you
What
picking
are
that
you
up?
even doing?
Yeah.
They trust him to
Quit
make the right
doing that.
move and trust him with the ball. And if you have sure hands, then why not? Why not try to go for it every time?
Quit doing that. Did I say quit? I meant keep doing that.
It's the no, yes kind of play?
Yes. Really working well. So, Ramsay has the football down inside the 10. They hand off, and this time again, I do think, and this isn't just me trying to feign positive, but they have played much better run defense in this second half.
They have, and I think they're forcing more carries, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. They were the big plays of that first half. Again, the 3 touchdown runs, all at 40-plus yards. So that's what made it so difficult. But, yeah, they're shoring up at the line of scrimmage, and then at the same time, linebackers are actually coming up and making plays.
Armand Goolsby on that carry, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Goolsby again bounces it outside. He's got room to run, and I think he snuck in. And that's a touchdown for the Rams. So Goolsby gets in, and that makes it 38-0.
And if you can hear the chants in the background, what's funny is that these are coming from the Minor sideline. We'll take a look at this run again, though. The way he bounced out, I thought he had the opening to do that on the last play, and he didn't see it. Or maybe he did and just thought, I'm going to get it, make sure I get it next time I get the ball. Take one step inside, bounce out, beat everyone else to the pylon. That's a good run.
So Ramsay will go for 2 again because they haven't been very successful in some of their kicks. They throw it, and it's a successful 2-point conversion. So they get it out there to Daniel Rieger for the 2-point conversion, and that makes it 40-0 right now. Ramsay well in control. You know, football is just one of the programs available. We got a flag down, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Football is one of the programs, just one of them, available on Jeff Coed TV. Right now, a new episode of Storybook Adventures has dropped. Jeff Coed's child nutrition director, Dr. Beth Miller, shares our next book, Maddie's Fridge. We'll tell you more about Maddie's Fridge in just a moment, as we're going to have another play here as the flag was on the Ramsay Rams. Keenan drops back, throws the fade. Boy, what a great catch, I thought, by Alexander. He's done everything else right. A diving catch would just be icing on the cake. Take a look. He almost had it.
Yeah, that's a tough play. It slipped through his hands before he could even try to bring it in before hitting the ground. You could tell based off his reaction he wants that one back.
In any event, Jeff Coed's child nutrition director, Dr. Beth Miller, shares the next book, Maddie's Fridge. This book beautifully addresses the challenges of childhood food insecurities and the importance of reaching out for help. It tells the story of 2 friends supporting each other and sheds light on when it's the right time to speak up and lend a helping hand. You can watch Storybook Adventures by downloading the Jeff Coed TV app on Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV, or point your browser right there to jeffcoed.com/TV. So not much going wrong for Ramsay tonight, but that drop pass made it 38-0. And the Minor sidelines, again, just trying to find something positive, just trying to find a ray of hope, a beacon of light, if you will.
Yards.
And some yards would help to build on for next week and the rest of region play. I don't think they're near as bad as they have shown tonight. It's just been a bad night. And then Ramsay has played extremely well.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I mean, yes, Minor has done a lot of things to hurt themselves. I also think maybe creativity in the run game might have been a problem. And then tackling and defense, obviously an issue. But
other than those things,
it's just because Ramsay is so good, you have a slight little hitch in your game. They're going to take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Ramsay's done. They want to throw the ball, but if they see an opening in the run game, like they did in the very first 3 plays, that's what made it happen.
There's some guys getting after it. Randy Mize and Fletcher Tubbs. Hello, boys.
Don't forget to call your ride.
Ecstatic to be here.
They're trying to fit in over above the Minor sideline right now.
We use professionals here, except for the announcers.
We're just here.
They
make us look good.
We found those guys on the street. 1st and 10. Kidding, of course.
They found me. I don't know. I don't know where they got you from.
From the trash heap. 1st and 10 from the 39. And White still in there. Or I should say Williams. I should say Sherman Williams. Pretty good yardage around the right end. And he got about 6.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how much Minor looks into this with playing Williams as much as they have in the second half. Do you take that into the next weeks and say, do you switch things up at quarterback? Or do you say, this defense is unlike a lot of the defenses we will play, and maybe you stick with the offense that had the success that it did have in the first 3 games of the season?
Yeah. And there was Hurth trying to get through the line behind Devin Shepard, the left guard, who's the smallest at 5'10", 295.
That's small to me.
Yeah.
First down number 4 of the night.
And whistle on the procedure penalty. A little movement before the snap. Snap wasn't with the players, so that'll back those guys up 5. And some cramping going on for the Ramsay Rams, it looks like, in the secondary. So stoppage of play.
It looked like one of those where he saw the cramp coming out of his muscle there. The way he spun around and showed it to his trainers, he said, I don't think that's supposed to be doing that.
Good look at the Minor band entertaining the crowd right now that's left here tonight. Such a great part of high school experience.
And that's where that shot's coming from.
Yep. And back to action now, 1st and 15. Williams gets it and throws it. And it's not even near, as his player kept going down the field on a fly pattern and go route, and the pass was behind. Now another personal foul against Minor. So Minor losing their cool a little bit in this 38-0 game.
Yeah, and this is coming from the lineman. You get a block and you're pushing them downfield, and you're trying to tell them that you're blocking them. Well, they don't care. They see the play's done, and they're over it. That's happened twice now. He's being taken out of the game by the coaching staff.
So it's second down, I should say, and again, forever. They're going to snap it on the 30. They've got to go to the 41 of Ramsay. So it's a 29-yard gain, and this doesn't help as the ball is loose in the backfield, and Williams picks it up down the sidelines. He'll get 6 somehow out of that play.
That's the second time a busted play has worked. Granted, that one was way more busted. He probably ran 25 yards there. Pickup of 6. Thought he had some space for a second, but once again, even on a play like that, Ramsay's defensive speed gets to that sideline to close off any sort of path that he had to get down the sideline.
So 3rd down and about 24. Blustery night, the gusts of wind still blowing around, and Sherman Williams breaks through, carrying would-be tackler still on his feet, fighting for every yard, and he's only going to be a yard short. What a terrific run, and that'll be shown on the film this week at Minor.
Yeah, that right there is exactly the kind of play. That fight, and that's why he's getting the snaps here in the second half. He's earned them by the way he's played. Yeah, obviously they like to complete some more of these passes, but being able to carry guys on your back there to get closer, make it an actual manageable 4th down.
Good to see the fight of Sherman Williams, the backup quarterback. So 4th down and about a yard. They marked him at the 42. Got to get to the 41. Handoff inside, 1st down and maybe more. Still on his feet. And that is a burst of speed they've been needing by number 23 for Minor. And that is George Lewis, running back. So they're in a hurry up now. Lewis gets it again, I think, and this time he's knocked down pretty quickly.
Yeah, on the previous play, that I think that
was actually Kamari Bell.
Great read there at the quarterback position, just because of you just had a 22-yard gain. That defense is locked in on you on 4th and 1, and to be able to give up that ball, that's a great play call. Give up that ball. That path was right there in the middle. Really the first time we've seen a path in the middle of Minor's line all night.
Now no back there with Sherman Williams. Movement, and I think they're going to blow that dead. The left tackle, left side moved pretty early.
Penalty on the play against the Tigers. Offside.
Let's go to Chris down on the sideline. Chris, what do you got?
You know, the scoreboard is kind of lopsided right now, but you can see it in Minor's eyes. They're trying to make something happen. They do not want to be blanked out on their own field, a new field, I might add. So there's some sense of urgency. Back up to you guys.
All right, certainly Sherman Williams can be thought of in that vein because he's still out there fighting it out. Drops back, looking, running, and still churning his legs down close to the 20-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 3.
Another good run that he really didn't have a ton of space. Then there was a bit of a path. And again, some hard hits with the speed of Ramsay that just comes in there. Thought we might see another offsetting unsportsmanlike there in the middle of the field. The refs let him talk a little bit. Just broke it up. You like to see that happen. No need to throw flags. Get it under control and get on to the next play.
Clock melting away here in the 4th, but Minor just wants to score. Ramsay obviously wants the shutout. Williams takes the snap straight up the middle, and he'll have the 1st down and much more as he's inside the 15-yard line. I like to see the character of Sherman Williams behind this offensive line. And look, the offensive line's also moving some bodies back finally as well.
Yeah, Williams has 37 yards rushing in the game.
By far leading.
But he has 50 on this drive because that's how many that he was behind before this drive even started were those negative plays. So this is it's been a good drive for him and a good drive for Minor's offense, like you said, just to get something under their belts.
Again, wanting to feel good with the region play going, and I think Ramsay wants to call a timeout to talk it over. Up 38-0. We'll take a quick break. Come back with more. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week. And welcome back to the action. Scott Griffin, Caleb Turrentine here. Jeff Coed TV crew. 1st and 10. Football rest inside the 15. Handoff inside, and not much happening there as Ramsay puts a stop to the efforts of the Minor running back. And again, that's George Lewis, the tailback.
Second down. 2nd and 11.
So 2nd down 11.
It's going to be hard to walk away from this drive without points, but I still think you have positives to take. But certainly, if I would think it feels better just to not have that shutout. But Ramsay's probably thinking the same thing. They want that shutout. So these points are big, even if it doesn't cut into the deficit too much.
They throw it up, and there's a flag. It's going to be interference because the defender never turned around. Kamari Bell was the intended receiver, but he just got face guarded right here. Can't do that.
And there's contact, and he jumps into him. Yeah, that's pretty textbook pass interference. He knew it. The ref knew it. Everyone in the stadium knew it. Easy call. And that, remember, no automatic first downs. And from the 16, 15, you're looking at half the distance. So it'll still be 2nd down and maybe 2 or 3.
Sherman Williams got it and just threw it up for grabs, hoping his guy would make a play. There's the pylon they want to get to and get somewhere in that purple painted area to get a score here.
Just cross the white line. Just get to the white line. The nose of the football over that white line. You don't even have to reach the purple. They're wanting any kind of points right now.
Blustery wind continues to blow here. Those gusts feel like 25, 30 miles an hour, don't they?
It feels like it comes, I mean, they're gusts, right? You feel no kind of wind, and then all of a sudden every single paper is up against this fence, and we have no control over what's going on. And then you get chills, and it's like, is it November? Nope, still September.
Yeah. Hurth is now in, flanking Williams. Low snap, and he was slow to pick it up, and Ramsay picks it up. Flying in was the middle linebacker, Markel Patterson, right there. Williams just a little slow getting down there.
Yeah, I don't know if he didn't expect the defense to be there that quickly. Looked like he was still trying to make the play happen just by picking it up. That right there. That one stings. Not getting points on the board, but the way you turned it over, that stings, and that certainly puts a cherry on top, but a bad one for describing how Miners' night has gone so far.
Chris has a thought on the sideline. Chris.
Guys, I saw everything. I mean, you talk about easy come, easy go. They were thinking that maybe they had a chance to score from just a few yards out, and for that to happen, just total disaster. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, it would have been nice to end with a score there. And Lawrence, again, the freshman for Ramsay, you could see the wheels he has. His second long run of the night. He's probably got over 100 just with a couple of runs.
We do have a flag.
We'll see if that's going to come back.
No one could see it. The whole offense was moving forward, and the one ref kept pointing backwards.
And that will come back.
All that, it'll go down as technically a 3-yard run.
And they're going over to explain to Coach Jackson the penalty. And Minor just wanting this night to end. hasn't been kind to the Purple Tigers.
And as you mentioned, in this second half, they have looked a little bit more locked in on the run defense. They're going to look back and say, you know, what happened on those 3 plays that allowed Ramsay to get so loose in the secondary, and then there was no slowing them down after that. Because those big runs were what made the difference. It was 3 long runs and 2 big punt returns, and those have been 5 plays that have allowed this to get out of hand.
No doubt about it. And again, Chris Lewis still making some plays. Number 45 for Minor.
While we are still here and we're score checking, we have one Birmingham City School team in front of us here. Parker just defeated Hoover 14-10.
Wow.
That was a big game to keep an eye on tonight. I know outside of Jeffco, but still a big one.
Good play there by Hrabowski, coming in, timing the play on the throw out by Lawrence. Hrabowski, or I should say, that's not Hrabowski. That's actually DeLove Shaber, the nickelback on that play. So Hrabowski number 0, that was number 9. Good hit right there.
Good coverage, clean hit, got there right when the ball did.
Third down and 5, and whistle, and looked like movement.
That's Ramsay's first pre-snap penalty tonight. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have the offsetting, personal foul penalties. They had a couple of holding penalties, but that's the first pre-snap penalty, and that's a big thing with discipline, especially in high school. That's hard to do. Whether it's false start or offsides or formation, they haven't had one yet, so that's a good sign of a good team right there.
So now third down and 9. Lawrence gets it. He's just dropped in his tracks. So that'll be a nice loss. And I didn't catch the number, but number 5. And I think that's Marcus Evans. No, it's Nathan Kelly, backup linebacker, who's had a couple of tackles in this game.
Yeah, he got there pretty quickly. That was one of the plays that you had to double check and think, wait, was that Ramsay on defense? Because that's about how quick Ramsay's been getting in the backfield. A 4-yard loss. They've only had 3 plays on offense. Ramsay's only had 3 plays that have lost 4 or more yards tonight.
And the clock just running down, but the play clock's not moving. And now timeout Ramsay. The play clock sat there at 40, so I don't know how they knew.
I think the play clock's being kept on the field. I noticed that earlier that was just on 40. I'm not sure that one has moved all night.
So 2:46 to go. Ramsay calls time to be able to kick this ball away. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more. You're watching the Jeffco Ed.
Hello, Jeffco Ed family. I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to the teachers of Jefferson County Schools. I appreciate everything that you do and how the commitment and dedication that you give every day that you come to service our children and to service our families. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for your relationships that you have formed with our children. And thank you for ensuring that our children are achieving and learning. You are our boots on the ground, and without you, we would not be as successful as we are. And just know that you're loved and you're appreciated by not only your students, your coworkers, the families you serve, but by me. Thank you for everything that you do.
Welcome back to Jeffco Ed TV. While you were away, this punt happened, and Kamari Bell received it, and had a return of 2 or 3 yards maybe. Tackled pretty much immediately. And that's where the Purple Tigers will have it again with 2:38 to go in this game. Again, enough time to try to get a score. They were very close last time, but kind of shot themselves in the foot as they were inside the red zone.
Yeah, I wonder how they want to play this, in a teaching moment. I would say 40 yards, 2:38. I say you play this like you're down a touchdown, right? Play it like how would you make your play calls? Well, now you're getting 15 extra yards. A personal foul on Ramsay. So now even more so.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Even more so, your playbook is wide open.
So it's set up to try to get a score here. Sherman Williams still in at quarterback for the Tigers. Dropped the ball again, but this time picks it up and got a face mask there, and they didn't throw a flag. I thought the official would see that. But again, dropping the ball and just, I don't know what's going on. Not a bad snap.
Yeah, that's not. Looks like he was just on
Maybe
his
got his
shoulder
jersey,
pad there.
yeah.
But you're talking about you just got those 15 yards for a penalty. You just give them back up in one play and put yourself behind the sticks. Again, I've said it multiple times, but it's just like a play after play where you're thinking that sums up the night for Miners offense. And the next one happens, like, okay, well, that one does too. They've just struggled on pretty much every front, even down to these snaps over the past few minutes.
So second down at about 26. They'll get about 7 back on that play. And again, just trying to get positive. Everything's getting chippy down there for some reason. It's a 38-0 game. Really no reason for anything to be chippy at this point. But there's frustration, obviously, with Coach Abrams there, Adrian Abrams. An outstanding coach. He's taken this team to 3 playoffs. Haven't been since 20, and he's itching to get back there.
I think they're right on the edge this year. And
yeah, they're
that Gardendale loss was tough and maybe a little telling. Because I'm not sure they will be able to hang with the likes of a Homewood and a Parker.
We'll see.
But, that's at the end of the year. They have plenty of room
to get it better.
To prove, and they have time to do that. And that's something that over the last couple of years, that tougher schedule late in the year is what hurt them. And that, that's something that I think you have to learn from probably as a coaching staff from year to year. How did you handle it last year, the past couple of years, and what made that happen? How can you do it differently this year?
Great-looking kid here. Happy cheerleaders holding them. 4th down and about 20. They're going to just take a shot, go deep. It's not close. And that'll be the last play of the offensive part of Miners' game tonight, as Ramsay will take over on downs with 21 seconds to go in this game. And look, they do have a big offensive line. They do have a quarterback that can move well. They got 2 quarterbacks that can move well. They got to figure out, to your point earlier, which one do you want to go with, Sherman Williams or White? But both of them should be on the field in some capacity, right?
Yeah.
Athletically.
I think so, for sure. And I think realistically, you look at this kind of offense and running behind 6, 7, 8 offensive linemen in a single play, that works when you're playing against teams worse than you. You have to have something else to do when that isn't working. And I think that's what happened tonight when one run wasn't working. They couldn't run up the middle. They couldn't get to the edge. And then there was no other offense to go somewhere else with it. So that's something that they're going to have to solve and figure out how to get the ball in the hands of these playmakers that they have just to get it in the right situation.
And a wide receiver was the only one moving on that one.
He was playing hard. He was playing hard. He was going out. He was trying to make a block.
So that'll back Ramsay up 5 yards. And this should be the final play of the game. Handoff up the middle and slung down rudely. Is Ramsay, but they will escape Miner tonight with a 38-0 spanking of the Purple Tigers. But again, a non-region game. You just watch the tape, you get better, and you get ready for region play.
Yeah, I think that's something that they're going to have to look at pretty closely. I think run defense is going to be your number one thing, because not only, Ramsay has a good offense, but not only are you going to see your run defense didn't have a great game, other teams are going to see your run defense didn't have a good game. So you're going to have to make adjustments. Otherwise, a lot of people are going to try these same running plays, get into space, get to the edge, exactly as Ramsay did, and they made so much of the space that they had. Again, they finished with 352 rushing yards, 249 of that from Jaden. So that was the difference. The big plays and the running game, and Ramsay made it happen. Once they saw the hole, they knew it was there, and they took advantage of it.
Jaden Martin was definitely the star tonight. Next week, we hope to have a good one coming up. Join us next Friday night as we get back into region play, as we travel to Corner, a top 10 team at least going into tonight's action. What a season they're having, as they were 4-0 entering the game tonight. Next week they host Briarwood Christian, who's another playoff-worthy team, and you'll see every last second of it right here live on Jeffco Ed TV. Chris will get you started with the pregame show at 6:40. Then Caleb and I will join you for kickoff at 7 o'clock. So for our entire crew here, our executive producer John Huddleston, director John Rocket, and all our great crew, so long from Minor, the west side of Birmingham. The final tonight, Ramsay, 38, Minor nothing. You've been watching Jeffco Ed TV Game of the Week.